Good day, viewers at home. You're welcome to Jay's Villa. The arrest of Dele Farotimi, a popular human rights activist, has not come without his condemnation by like minds and political figures whom most people revere as true leaders. One of these leaders is Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, and of course the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. In a tweet he posted on his verified X page, Peter Obi used strong language and expressions to condemn the arrest. Mr. Peter Obi said, and I quote, "I just learned of the arrest of Dele Farotimi, a respected human rights lawyer and advocate, over an allegation of defamation. This action is a gross misuse of police powers and a grave assault on the principles of democracy and justice in Nigeria. I condemn this action in totality. It represents not only an attempt to intimidate opposing voices from questioning authority, it is also a worrying signal to every Nigerian who loves and values freedom of expression, and dares to demand accountability and transparency. The Nigerian police force exists to protect the rights of citizens, not to suppress them. Defamation, by its nature, is a civil matter that should be addressed in court through due process, in line with the dictates of the rule of law in a democracy. As a private citizen, former governor, and even today, I am frequently defamed, insulted, and lied about and against. Yet I have never resorted to using the Nigerian police or filing reports to silence others. Those who feel otherwise should seek redress through the proper legal channels, not by weaponizing the police or abusing their access to authority or state power. The result to police action, in this case, reeks of abuse of power and raises serious concerns about the independence and professionalism of the police as a civil force. I hereby request that Dele Farotimi should be released immediately and unconditionally. The police must recognize that their allegiance is to the Constitution and the people of Nigeria, not to narrow interests at the behest of those in power. A new, more just and fairer Nigeria is possible." End of quote. Now, recall that on Tuesday, the Nigerian police force reportedly arrested the human rights lawyer for alleged defamation. This came on the heels of a petition submitted by the chairman of the United Bank of Africa, Tony Elumelu. And this event sparked widespread outrage as Nigerians expressed that defamation remained a civil matter and should not have warranted Farotimi's apprehension. Meanwhile, the financial institution has denied ordering the arrest. Now, let's see some reactions, or should I say backlash, from citizens. Of course, the trending hashtag now is "Free Dele Farotimi Now." But where is all this noise coming from? Actually, the fire was ignited by a book recently published by Farotimi titled "Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System." Powerful, very powerful. Well, I have no idea about the content of the book, but by raw accounts, the book contained corrupt activities that the author uncovered against the political class as well as the judiciary. Inaccurate information might have been given by Inibehe Effiong, another human rights lawyer who is close to Dele. On his X page, Effiong said, "The distance from Lagos to Ekiti State is more than 7 hours. There is no airport in Ekiti. That is the horrendous journey that the police is embarking on because of alleged case of defamation." Dele Farotimi wrote about the rot in the Nigerian criminal justice system, and he is experiencing it again in real time. As a lawyer, it is one thing to know how deeply flawed Nigeria's justice system is. It is another thing entirely to personally suffer from the unjust system as a lawyer. When a Nigerian health worker or provider is sick and cannot get good health care, the resentment and frustration is deeper than that of the another sick person. That's how it feels when a lawyer suffers from the rot in the justice system. I can speak authoritatively about his subject because I have been a victim of Nigerian justice system. Free Dele Farotimi. End of quote. And then on an earlier tweet, Effiong revealed he had a FaceTime with the Farotimi who confided in him about his imminent arrest. He said, I have been in contact with Dele Farotimi in the past few days. During the course of our last conversation over the weekend, he updated me on efforts by the police to arrest him in respect of a petition which he said has been written against him by Chief Afe Babalola, the senior advocate of Nigeria. The petition is said to contain allegation of defamation of character. According to Comrade Farotimi, Chief Babalola is coming after him because of the contents his recently published book titled Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System. In the book, he narrated his experiences with the justice system in Nigeria, including his personal experience in a case he was involved in some years ago, involving the senior advocate of Nigeria. Based on what he told me, very highly placed individuals in government have shown sinister interest in the case and are trying to deal with him. His immediate family has no access to him at this time and does not know where he has been taken to. I call on the Nigerian police force to grant him access to his family and his lawyers and release Mr. Dele immediately. The use of the police to pursue private interest is unacceptable. The police is supposed to serve public interest. End of quote. Dele Farotimi, like Peter Obi, Professor Chido Odenkalo, and a few others, whom I am always glad to call the voice of the voiceless and the eyes to the blind. These individuals are the true freedom fighters and pan-Nigerianists because they speak neither for their personal interest nor the interest of their tribe alone, but more importantly, the general interest of the masses. They represent what Jean-Jacques Rousseau would call the general will of the citizens. The Nigerian government should be careful with the way they handle cases like this, as it has the potential of stirring a more powerful revolt. Anyway, this is where I draw the curtain. But as I leave you now, enjoy a little radical speeches by Dele Farotimi. I am Otra saying.
I already told you, I wasn't shy about saying it. I said this system is not reformable. Nigeria will either descend into chaos or it might be saved by a revolution. The only way it is a revolution is when there is a plan for the day after the chaos. But the descent into chaos has already begun.
Nigeria is in a place right now where it is tottering at the brink. And if we are going to ever save our country and to save ourselves, it will be because we move beyond the idiocy of ethno-religious bigotry. And we understand that those who actively promote these bigotries and ethno-religious madness, even the ones promoting vacuous religiosity, they are the beneficiaries of the ruination of our country.
Existing. They don't think beyond their lifetime. All they focus on is in stupid acquisition of money, obscene display of debauchery of all sorts, ever more debased acquisition of the commonwealth. Are those the ones you call elite? Mindless pursuit of money as if they are going to live forever. They live stupidly consumed by the pursuit of money. We don't have elite in Nigeria.
When a lie endures for so long and the sufferers become complicit in the erection and maintenance of that lie can actually become the truth in the consciousness of the victims. So each and every one of you, I'm speaking to you as my fellow lepers. I recognize the fact of my leprosy. I'm a Nigerian. That's why I'm always careful to explain that I'm not a citizen. I'm a victim of Nigeria. It is the grace of God that has kept one from the grave up till this point. 6 years ago, almost to the exact day, I was sent to prison by a court in this country for life, in the service of a church in this city. But the grace of God is what has kept me here, and I was free. No, hold on, please. The point I'm trying to make to all of us is this. If we do not recognize the fact of the commonality of our victimhood, if you continue to think that those who voted Bulaba deserve their punishment and you don't want anything to do with them, you can't even bring yourself to show mercy to them as Christians. how do you bring yourself together to fight the evil? Okay, so you know the truth, but they are so ignorant because they have embraced hatred that they do not know the truth. How have you, as Christians, shown them the truth? I know it's actually very annoying, especially if you live in this neighborhood. This is Okota. Yeah, the vast majority of my Oriental brothers and sisters live in this neighborhood. You have borne the brunt of the madness that has overtaken our country. And you will see more as we are drawing closer, because for them, the election cycle has started. The election cycle has nothing to do with your votes. They don't care. They've written the result already. But having written the result, they need you to now begin to divide yourselves. You need to be told to ignore the pains in your bellies, the hunger. You must forget it. And for you to forget it, they must give you hatred to embrace. And I saw a piece in the paper, I think sometime this past week, and I know that they have started the race. You know what I saw? Ajeromi Felodun local government published a list of streets they were renaming in Ajegunle. And I saw how they are attempting to whitewash history and pretend that a certain ethnic group do not exist in that neighborhood. And I laughed. But I also know that it will require the complicity of good men and women who elect to embrace hatred for that madness to endure.